winning blueprint presents.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. I'm going with the 1980s pop collar look today. I look like an absolute clown. I don't care. I'm having fun today. It's Wednesday here in the lab room, and I want to talk more Super Bowl, more Ravens, more 49ers. I told you that this week was really going to be focused on the Super Bowl teams. They deserve it, and so we're going to talk about those two teams exclusively today. I want to do the Soul Survivor, so we'll do that today as well. Special Soul Survivor edition of In the Lab Room, and so looking forward to getting to that a little bit later. But let's start with some more quotes. Who doesn't like quotes? So let's go out of media row. Mike's up. That's the devil. That's nothing but the devil. You tell him, Ray. You tell him. That was the response from Ray Lewis. That's the devil. That was his response to the allegations of PED usage during his injury to repair that torn bicep. A lot of people are speculating that the only reason he was able to overcome that injury, come back so quickly and really, Ray Lewis told us himself that he could have played the final two games of the regular season, but the Ravens said, hey, we're already in the postseason. No need to rush you back. We'll just sit you down until the postseason starts. And so a lot of people are speculating that at his ripe old age, no way he can repair himself that fast to get back from a torn bicep. Most people are put on the shelf for the rest of the season with that type of injury. He was able to come back. We've seen guys play with it. Adrian Wilson had a torn bicep at the beginning of the last season and played through it the whole entire year. So we've seen guys do this before. But they just want a story. And this is why I say the media sickens me sometimes. I just can't understand for the life of me why the media doesn't just let things rest. They want everything to be a story. And yeah, I get it. You have a job to do, but come on, man. The guy's got one more game to play. We're talking about 4 days away from the last game he'll ever play in the National Football League. And you want to antagonize him? You want to crucify him? Give me a break. Whether he did it or he didn't do it, who cares? Let the man play his last football game and ride off into the sunset. Whether they win or they lose, let him enjoy this journey, this ride. Instead, you have to attack him, assault him with accusations of things that you have no proof over. So, at this point, I'm done with it. Ray, just deny it. Don't admit to anything, even if you did do it. Deny it and keep it moving, man. Play your last game and transition smoothly into broadcasting. You have a nice, comfy job at ESPN waiting on you. No need for you to even allow yourself to feed into any of this nonsense. Ray, you rebuke that devil in the name of your Lord and Savior, JC. That's what you tell him, Ray. Don't allow them to steal your spotlight, your thunder, your last ray of sunshine, Ray. Don't let them do it. Hold your head up. Play your last game. Keep it moving. Now, Ed Reed is an interesting character. He's got the new little do going with the fro with the little patch of gray in the front. And he's been really mouthy of late, having something to say on just about every topic under the sun. So I found Ed Reed very interesting over the last couple of days. Ed Reed said, hey, number one, I'm coming back, which I found to be actually funny because I thought he was done. I had been adamant that him and Ray Lewis were package deals. One goes, the other goes. I was flat out wrong. He's already come back and said, hey, I'm playing next year. Okay. That's a far cry and a very stark contrast to the guy that's been on the fence for the last 3 seasons on whether to come back or retire. It's funny how going to the Super Bowl changes everything. Changes your perspective, your frame of mind, everything. Had they lost again in the AFC Championship game, I don't know if he's singing that same tune. I don't know if he says, hey, I'm coming back. Maybe he plays the whole, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm getting away from football card. But instead, he's already come out and said, hey, I'll be back. Good for you. He's also said, hey, Junior Seau knew what he was getting into when he decided to play football. He knew what he was signing up for. And that's what I always say about football players. All these guys trying to sue the NFL, you knew what you were getting into when you signed your name on that dotted line. When you were getting that money, you weren't complaining then. And look, you know football is a physical, violent sport. That's why everyone can't play. That's why you, myself, and a lot of these other people that watch it and criticize can't play because they're not willing to put forth the sacrifice that it takes to play the National Football League. Who wants to be walking around with a limp at the age of 34? Who wants to be someone that wakes up in the morning with headaches and you haven't even done anything? You just woke up and you have a massive headache. Or there's blank spots. You don't remember certain things. Who wants to do that when they're 41 years old? Not many of us. And so everyone isn't cut out for the National Football League. But those who are and decide to play, you knew what you were getting into when you decided to play. You didn't just wake up one morning and say, hey, I want to play football. You've been playing football probably since you were 5 years old in Pop Warner, in Rec League. And you played in middle school, you played in high school, you played in college, and then you went to the NFL. And so you knew what you were getting into. So I don't have much sympathy for anyone who plays in this game and suffers injuries or some kind of mishap after their career is over because that's the name of the game. You knew what you were getting into, and that's what Ed Reed was saying about Junior Seau. Now, you never want to see anyone lose their life. That's tragic. You never want to see anyone take their own life because they have a mental condition that stems from playing football. You never want to see that. But that's one of the risks that come with playing football in the National Football League. Period. That's one of the risks that are associated with playing in the National Football League. You're subject to getting concussions, head trauma, repeatedly, over and over again. It happens, and you're going to pay for those actions later on in life. And it happens. But that's the game that you signed up for to play. And that's what Ed Reed was basically saying about Junior Seau. He also said that he feels like they're prepared to play against Colin Kaepernick because they played against Robert Griffin III and the Redskins. And he said the only thing that's going to be different this time is they won't be playing on such a crappy field. He's right. FedEx Field is a terrible field. The conditions there are one of the worst in the league. It's like playing on sand if it's dry. It's like playing in mud if it's wet. And on that particular day, it was moist. And so it was like playing in mud. Green mud. And so they have to fix that. And Ed Reed, again, is right. Also, Ed Reed was a busy man. He was a busy man. He also said that he wouldn't mind playing for the Patriots. He's going to be a free agent in the offseason, is Ed Reed. And here's Ed Reed again, another ploy. Just like all these seasons of in the offseason, I don't know if I'm going to play or not. I'm just going to get away from football. That was a ploy to get the Ravens to cough up some dough. Same thing here. They asked him a question. Hey, could you see yourself playing for the Patriots? Of course I could see myself playing for the Patriots, is what Ed Reed said. Yeah, I love Bill Belichick. I'd love to play for Bill Belichick. I really admire that guy. I think he could really teach me some things about football that at my ripe age and my seasoned mindset in the NFL, I still could learn from him. He's a great mind in the NFL. Translation, hey Ravens, that's a message to you. I will leave. I will go to New England if you don't pay me. He's already playing mind games and the season isn't even over. Ed Reed is one of a kind, I will tell you that. The guy, he's smart. I will say that. He's smart because he doesn't mind playing mind games. Because let's face it, officials in the National Football League play mind games all the time. And you have to know how to play with them or else they'll outsmart you every time. And so Ed Reed, he's very savvy. He's been doing this for a long time. He gets it. He's playing mind games with the Ravens. That was not a message to the Patriots. That wasn't a message to the media. That was a message directly at the front office of the Ravens. Hey, I've been here my whole career. I know you want me to finish my career in Baltimore. I would like to finish my career in Baltimore. How about we just find a way for you to compensate me well enough so that I don't even think about leaving? How about you do that? And his way of doing that was sending the message via the media. Hey, I wouldn't mind playing for the Patriots. Yeah, I'd definitely play for them. I can see myself playing for them. Yeah, right, Ed. Yeah, and of course, he would actually follow through on that if the Ravens don't step up to the plate. And that's the beauty of all of this is this isn't an empty threat by Ed Reed. This is a calculated decision to say what he said in order to get what he wants. And if it doesn't come, he'll actually walk and go to the Patriots. So that's the beauty of what he's doing. It's mind games, but there's actually a real threat behind it. This isn't just all air. He'll actually go and play for the Patriots and play for another 3 seasons and play at a Pro Bowl level. And so the Ravens have to ante up. Ed Reed at his finest. Gotta love the guy. And speaking of the Super Bowl, talking about the Ravens, want to jump ship to the 49ers quickly. I've been talking about Alex Smith all week, and he's being honest. I love honesty from NFL players. I love candidness. I love it. And he was honest. He said, honestly, it's hard to watch, and it's hard to accept that I'm not the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, and I didn't lead this team to the Super Bowl. It's hard to accept. It's hard to watch. That's brutal honesty. I love it. Because from a lot of guys in the league, you get coach speak. You get the politically correct answer. What everyone wants to hear or what everyone thinks he should say. Well, Alex Smith right now doesn't care about that. And I like that. Be honest. How do you really feel? And yeah, he could have waited till the end of the season. But if someone asks you a question, you have something on your chest, why not? This is the perfect platform to get it off because whether you say what you feel or you don't, guess what? You're still going to be the backup of the San Francisco 49ers. It's not like you're the starter and you might say something dumb and they bench you. Not happening. Either way, you're still going to be the backup of the San Francisco 49ers come Sunday. And after Sunday, you might get your release and you'll become a member of another football team and look to start for another franchise. So I love his honesty. It's hard to accept. It's hard to watch. Yeah, it is. I get it. Again, every player in the National Football League, whether they admit it or not, has an ego. And they want to shine. They want to be the guy. He was the guy. It was taken from him unceremoniously. And so he feels somewhat slighted. And he should. Again, it wasn't his fault. It's not like Alex Smith was playing terrible. The guy, when he got the concussion, had completed his last 19 of 21 passes. I mean, it's not like he was playing bad football. It's not like this 49ers team wasn't winning football games. But they saw a better option. He had to sit out because of the concussion protocol, and he lost his job. It happens. It sucks, and that's what he's saying, and I get it. And I love his honesty. I'm starting to like Alex Smith more and more. I really am. I wasn't a big Alex Smith fan when he first entered the league and the next 4 years thereafter. I wasn't a big Alex Smith fan. But through all of this, he's taken the high road, and I felt like there was times where he could have spoke up and said some things that were derogatory toward Colin Kaepernick, toward this 49ers franchise. He never did that. He just stayed the constant professional, He's been helping Colin Kaepernick along this journey, and he's going to get an opportunity to be a starter again. I'm starting to really like Alex Smith. I really am. So we started the season with 32 teams. We whittled it down to just 12. Then they went through the rigorous ups and downs of the postseason, and now we're down to the final 2. Time to find out who the sole survivor will be in the National Football League for the 2012-2013 season.
But only one can win. Are you the sole survivor?
So who's it going to be? You've got the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens versus the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. Who is it going to be? That's an interesting question. One that I don't have the answer to right now. You thought I was going to give you a winner on Wednesday? Really? You must not know me that well. Come on now. I'm not going to give you a winner right now. But honestly, I think that this is going to be a very evenly matched football game between two teams that, frankly, kind of mirror each other. I mean, you get tough defenses. Now, the Ravens aren't playing defense at the level of the San Francisco 49ers. That's not how it is right now. Now, the 49ers and the Ravens are different defensively. The 49ers are a much better defensive team. But there are some holes in their defense. And so they can be exploited offensively by the Ravens. And so we'll see what that matchup brings in this game. But much like I did all season long, I'm not going to give you in-depth analysis. Normally, I just tell you why it's a good game or a bad game to select and move on. If this were a game in the regular season, of course this would be a terrible game to select. I mean, these are two evenly matched teams, two really good football teams, two really good football franchises, two head coaches that are brothers that get it. This is going to be a really entertaining football game. I really think this is going to be a great matchup. We've been spoiled over the last 7 years or so with the Super Bowl. We've had some really good matchups come down to the wire. I expect this to be no different. I expect this game to fall right in line with the game last year, with the game the year before that, with the game the year before that. I mean, we've had really close Super Bowls for the last 5 out of 6 seasons. I mean, it's really been entertaining stuff. And so I expect this game to be much like those games. More of the same. And that's all you're getting out of me for this Soul Survivor segment. And you really thought I was going to give you a winner on Wednesday? Come on, man. As my dad would say, be for real. You got to come better than that. If you want my winner, it's going to be on Friday, of course. So, that'll do it. Go ahead and throw a touchdown up, man. It's a touchdown. Let's tackle this quick extra point. We found out the NFL has selected their crew for the Super Bowl. Congratulations to Jerome Boger, the ladies' man. The ladies' man is going to be the referee in the Super Bowl. Him and 6 other officials will head up the team of officials officiating this game. And I think Jerome Boger has done a wonderful job this season. And think that he deserves it. You know, a lot of these officials around the league do a bang-up job, but I think Jerome Boger is an official that we sleep on a lot. You know, you always hear about Ed Hockley, John Perry. You hear about a lot of the other guys. You don't hear a lot about Jerome Boger. And I think he's a really good official. And so I'm looking forward to him and his cohorts calling a really good game and really falling to the backdrop. I don't want to hear about the officials in this game. I want the game to be decided on the field. And I think Jerome Boger will allow that to happen. Let's hope that the rest of his officiating crew does the same thing. And that's going to do it for today's episode in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. Stay tuned a little bit later. There will be a Lab follow-up of the Dallas Cowboys. They are the 18th pick in the draft, and so we'll be talking Dallas Cowboys football today on the Lab follow-up. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining me. Many different ways to contact or view the show. Facebook, In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Like it. There's Twitter. At In the Lab Room is the Twitter handle. Follow me on Twitter. In the Lab Room at gmail.com is the inbox. And Louis T is the YouTube page. Subscribe. I thank you for joining me here today on the program. I'm running out of real estate here. The voice isn't going to hold up much longer. And so I thank you for joining me. Want to see you back here. Same time, same place. And as always, have a good one. I will see you back here on the program tomorrow. Want to see you a little bit later for the lab follow-up.